Hey, what is up TGG fans? Today we have more lineups for you, but this time our lineup expert is Killjoy, and she'll be chucking Nanoswarms, alarm bots, and turrets all over Haven. Being a map with 3 spike sites, you need to be aware of where enemies are at all times, especially on defense, something Killjoy excels at with her lineups. So enjoy the video, make sure to like and subscribe as well, and if you use any of these awesome lineups, send them to our Twitter. So, our first lineup of the video will begin with attacking A site. You will need to stand next to the sandbags at the top of A long, but make sure you are next to them and not on top. On the wall opposite, you will see some small wooden supports just under the roof. Place the tip of your right-click throw nanoswarm icon on your HUD at the bottom of the third support from the left. Finally, when you throw, the nanoswarm will land behind the boxes in the middle of A site, and exploding it when your team is pushing will mean that you can stop the cat and mouse chase that always happens around the box. It also means that enemies have a lot less room to fall back on when your team storms the site. Our second A site attacking lineup will be another nanoswarm lineup, but this time you'll use the ability to clear A heaven. The great part about this is you stand in the same place as last time. This is excellent for keeping things interesting, so you don't become predictable by using the same lineup every round. This time, you need to aim your crosshair between the 5th and 6th wooden supports below the roof, just in line with the bottom of the supports. When you throw, make sure you don't forget to jump as you do it. The nanoswarm will land just in the back of A heaven, meaning even you can zone off your enemies. This is great if your team has smoked it off, and often defenders will still sit in the smoke. Even if you miss the nanoswarm, which is plausible as it is a very hard lineup, you can still get an excellent placement of a nanoswarm, just behind the boxes on A site. Our final lineup for attacking A site is a post-plant lineup. Hey, it wouldn't be a TGG lineup video without one. I bet you can guess where we are standing for this one. That's right, in the same place by the sandbags. That means you can use the lineup at the beginning alongside one of the others. This is fairly hard to line up, but it can be forgiving. Aim the crosshair at the roof above you, just below the front left corner. Then move your crosshair right slightly, so that it is in line with the small indent to the right of the corner. Copy us if you are struggling. The nanoswarm will land directly on the default plant position for A site, meaning you now not only have a safe way to prevent a defuse while off of A site, but you can also easily do everything from the exact same position. Our next segment is for attacking C site as Killjoy. From A lobby, you want to stand in the corner by the small box and the 2 stacked boxes. The nanoswarm lineup will land in the corner right next to the C site connector from garage. Lining it up is hard, but you have the whole buy phase to do so take your time. Aim up into the leaves and you will see a small circular gap through which you can see the sky. Jump throw the nanoswarm when you are lined up. The nanoswarm will land right in front of the connector from garage, but it will also damage anyone hiding behind the green stacked boxes right next to it. This is great for preventing a rotate through mid from any defenders and can do wonders for helping your team onto C site. This next attacking C site lineup will land right in the back left corner of C site. There is almost always someone holding this angle, as the cover means that they are only a headshot target. Stand just inside the archway, in the back corner before C long. If you turn around, there is a small power box on the wall. Aim the small white line between your alarm bot and turret ability icons on your HUD just to the right of the wire attached to the small power box. Then jump and throw the nanoswarm. The nanoswarm will land right in the back left corner of C site, meaning that if there is someone sitting there with an operator, they have to move or hide whilst their team pushes up to C long. Our final attacking lineup for the video is a post-plant lineup for C site. Once again, we'll be using Killjoy's nanoswarm. Begin in the same place as the previous lineup, tucked right into the corner. This lineup will land directly on the default plant position. You will even be aiming at the same small power box on the wall for this lineup, except this time, Get the top right corner of the Nanoswarm HUD icon and line it up with the top right corner of the power box. This time, you don't need to jump. As we promised, the lineup will land in the default plant position. This means that you can help clear C site and help defend it all at the same time, before even fighting an enemy. Obviously, Killjoy is not the only agent that can be played on Haven. So, there are bound to be other agents who need lineups for Haven, right? Well, we have got full comprehensive lineup guides for Viper, Raze, KO, Phoenix, Brimstone, Sova, and Fade on Haven on the Global Gaming website and the YouTube channel for you guys too. Now, moving over to the defending retake lineups for Killjoy on Haven. One thing to mention is that they aren't quite lineups. When defending with Killjoy, we actually have full kit setups. This means you'll be utilizing Killjoy's Nanoswarm, Alarm Bot, and Turret for each setup. So the first place we'll start at is A site. This is for you if you are defending A long and A sewers by yourself. Place your Alarm Bot on the ramp about halfway up on the left side. Your first Nanoswarm should go just in front of it, in the middle of the ramp. Now going over to A sewers, place your turret on the stacked boxes at the top of A sewers. Then place the final Nanoswarm at the bottom of A sewers, just before the ramp. This means that no enemies can push A without you knowing. So, what do you do if you're outnumbered and are about to get swarmed? No pun intended. Set up for a retake, of course. This setup will allow you to easily retake A site after being pushed off. The next step is to go around the corner into A link and place Killjoy's ultimate ability, Lockdown, in the corner nearest to A site. This will force enemies off of A site. There is one small corner at the top of A long that enemies can sit in, but this is where the last swarm grenade comes in. Line up with the wall of A link and find the second brick line from the edge of the wall at about head height. Stand against it, aim into the sky behind you between the third and fourth light bulbs from the left on the wire above. This will catch that corner, and you get your A site back. Next up is defending B site, and the first setup is a simple one for defending B site from mid courtyard. This setup only utilizes Killjoy's Alarm Bot and a Nanoswarm, so it is easy to chuck down in a pickle. Place your Nanoswarm in the middle of the floor, just behind the entryway from mid courtyard to B site. The Alarm Bot needs to go right next to the entryway, just by the right hand wall. This next setup actually defends B site and C site. You'll first place your turret in garage, just as we have, and then you will use your right-click throw to place a Nanoswarm grenade right next to mid doors, just as the barriers drop down at the beginning of the round. This means that you can prevent a push up C link to C site or through C window to B site. Now for the big B site setup. The first step is to place your Alarm Bot in the same place as the previous lineup that guards B site against mid courtyard, against the entryway wall. Your turret should then go on the boxes next to it. You might need to jump to place it though. Your first Nanoswarm should go just on the metal flooring behind the Alarm Bot. Your second Nanoswarm should go on the other side, just on the metal flooring in line with the other side of the B site entryway. If you are really dedicated to defending garage, this is the setup you should use. Place your turret just in the corner by the steps to C window and C link. Then place your Alarm Bot behind the door of mid doors. The first Nanoswarm should go right next to it, on the corner of the door. Your second should then be placed in front of the stacked boxes in garage. This will simply eliminate any possibility of a garage push to C link or C site. Now, moving over to the penultimate segment of the video, the defensive side C site Killjoy setups. The first of which will be defending garage, but from a safer angle and on C site rather than garage itself. Your turret should actually be placed on the two stacked boxes at the back of C site by C link. Head back over to the C site garage choke point and place your Alarm Bot just in the entryway on the left. The first Nanoswarm should be just outside of the entryway but on the right side. The second Nanoswarm should be behind the alarm bot out in the open. The three should create a triangle shape. This stops any push from garage. A very powerful tactic and meta at the moment is a Jett dash from garage onto C site, which involves her smoke dash smoke combination, which will get her into the back of C site. This Killjoy setup is designed to stop that. Place your turret on the wooden logs just around the corner from the garage to the C site choke point. Your first Nanoswarm should be placed near the default plant position, just on the front left corner of the box in the middle of the C site. Killjoy's alarm bot should be placed just to the left of this, out in the open. The final Nanoswarm should be on the metal platform, just to the left of the alarm bot, so your abilities form a line. This stops any form of dash over to the back of C site, meaning that the Jett tactic is useless. Next up is the big C site Killjoy setup. Do you remember where we placed the turret in the previous lineup? Just on the wooden logs? Well, place it one step down on the logs this time. The alarm bot should be just to the right of the C long to C site entryway, with the first Nanoswarm in the middle of the entryway just a little further back. The final Nanoswarm should be on the opposite side to the alarm bot, but in the same position. This will prevent any push from C long, and the turret covers you, in case you get suppressed and cannot activate your Nanoswarm grenades. The final part of this Killjoy Haven lineup guide is a bonus we decided to include. This is the best spots for Killjoy's ultimate, Lockdown. Head it over to A site. In the left corner of A sewers, just before the ramp, is the best place to put down your Lockdown. And it is phenomenal on the attacking side. It will push enemies back as far as B side and defender's side spawn. The best lockdown spot for B side is actually from A sewers once again. Place it on the large box in the bottom left corner of A sewers. This will push defenders off B site and prevents any A site rotations. Hopefully you learned a few lineups and setups, and if you want more for other maps, we have full lineup guides for Killjoy on Split, Icebox, Fracture, Ascent, Breeze, and Pearl.